Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be taking a look at the final Autobot for our Rise of the Beast reviews that currently exists. So, here we have Rise of the Beasts Studio Series Optimus Prime. And let's just say, the first release of this guy sucked. So, let me explain. So this guy was originally released in the buzzworthy Bumblebee, subline that was exclusive to Target. But because it was coming out at along the same time as the other Rise of the Beast stuff, and this guy being exclusive to Target made him hard to find in some places, and even then, apparently some Targets didn't even stock him at all. So, I'm trying to get this guy at first. It sucked, especially because you'd have to either get your copy from the aftermarket, which means that people are upcharging this to, unorthodox extremes, for what is essentially a Voyager to essentially Titan pricing, or Leader even, which is just not worth it. But thankfully, Hasbro had the smarts to, wait a few years and re-releases him in the regular Studio Series line. And this is the copy that I have here, the new re-release. So, yeah. So, same bells and whistles, same paint from what I can tell, and same problems. We'll go over that in a little bit. But, yeah. So, here is how Prime looked, mostly how he looked in the Rise of the Beast film. Same little truck grill thing, tall smokestacks, the silver, top part here. I don't know what this part is called in a truck. But yeah, and then the truck bed is, this guy was a heavy remold from, Studio Series Bumblebee, which was Studio Series 38. And, they didn't really keep all the same parts. The only parts they really kept was the wheels, and I think the clear inserts for the windows here, and maybe some other internal bits, I don't know, but it was pretty much just that. So, honestly, why they didn't try to get this guy an entirely new mold, even though that's what this guy is, from the beginning, kinda baffles me, but this is what we got, and honestly, this is still a pretty good figure, but because of the remolding, there are certain parts that they couldn't fix, like how ugly this back truck is. This part here is fine, it's just this part that's the issue. I've seen upgrade kits essentially ignore this and, put it back into where it is in, configuration, giving him new feet to actually, extend the bumper. I don't personally care for that, but even then, I probably want to get the DNA upgrade kit for one reason that we're going to be getting on to when we get into robot mode. But before that, let's get this guy in comparison to his other compatriots from the film. So here we have Mirage, Bumblebee, ARCEE, who's actually standing. That is surprising. And then MAINLINE WHEELJACK, because I am not transforming the Studio Series WHEELJACK. I'll leave that review in the pinned comment below, along with the reviews for the rest of these guys. And also, for comparing Prime to Prime, and also the rest of the Beast Wars cast. But yeah. Let me get everyone else back in shot. See, there we go. The entirety of the good guy cast for Rise of the Beasts. And also, I almost forgot to put Noah in here. So, yeah, Noah is very much out of scale with everyone here, but 'tis the price, or the problem of being a core class. But hey, it is nice to have the entirety of the good guy cast at the very least. Well, minus Ape-Link, but he'll get his own review, mostly because I don't have him yet. But yeah, so let's get this all cleared up. There we go. So now let's get on to transformation. So to start off with, we're going to remove his accessories, his hand blaster part here, and then if you open the legs, and then just wiggle this out, there you have his sword. And if you remember from my Beast Wars Maximals review, in that you get an axe that is meant to go with this Prime. And I'm kind of happy that they released it with Primal, so that way you still got a chance to get it. But I am kind of annoyed that they didn't kind of release it with this guy, because there is no storage back here that can, hold it. And even if you have the, blade stored back here, the best you could do is just kind of lay it back here. So, yeah. So, we'll get to that, how that functions with this guy in a second. But first things first. Transformation. Start off with, close in the gas canisters that want to be closed, and make sure you untab the side skirts from the hips right here. They go on these little posts here. These little side skirts are annoying. We'll get to that when we get to robot mode. But yeah, so start off with, fold up these panels here on either side. Fold the entirety of the truck front out, like on this double hinge here, and fold in the wheels just to get that depth done early. But yeah, so next thing, untab the legs and make sure you get these untabbed from both right here on the smokestack and down here where it is at the bottom. So get that all untabbed. And also it tabs in right here when you're going back into vehicle mode. Make sure that lines up first, and then you can do these two right here. So fold the feet around on a ball joint and a hinge right here. Fold around this piece here, which was holding the two sides of the truck together. Then make sure this all tabs into place like so. Do the same thing on the other side. And there we go. So there we have the legs all done. So now to work, the rest of the transformation is up here now. So start off with, grab from right here where my thumbnail is, and just pull right there, and fold that in, and then you can rotate that around, and then bring these up and snap them there. Fold it forward, rotate this up, and then rotate this around. Make sure to rotate this section upwards, so that way it sort of like just thumps into place. Rotate it around, open up this panel here, fold out the fist. Honestly, it's best to get this at an angle to get the fist to come out cleanly, because if not, then it just kind of bumps into the panel, and you just have to like snap it and force it past, and it might like damage the plastic there, so just be careful. So I'm going to fold that up, and then we just need to do the other side. So there we go. So then we rotate this. Let me raise the camera. So let's rotate this all around. Bring the entire thing back on this hinge here. Then bring the arms down, so that way we just need to open up the front of the truck, flip the head out, raise the camera even more, flip this all down, close up these, and then make sure this clip here goes underneath the bar right here. So then just there we go, and there we have Optimus Prime all transformed, and god does he look good. Honestly, they did prioritize the robot mode with this, and I'm kind of happy for it, because don't get me wrong, people just playing this stuff in vehicle mode, that makes sense, but honestly the robot mode for me is where it's at. So yeah, so let's get some like quick comparisons going. Okay, here we have Bumblebee, Mirage, Okay, stand Mirage, please. There we go. Noah. Just get the stand, please. There we go. ARCEE. There we go. Studio Series. Wheeljack. Come on, stand for me, you stupid thing. I watch my review to see my opinions on this guy. While, you know, grumbling. But yeah, also comparisons to the beast modes. Rhinox, Air Razor, Primal. And Cheetor. Also, I have her here underneath some other figures. Here's how they all stack up next to Nightbird. So yeah, just trying to get everyone in shot. Yeah, honestly, that's not a bad like robot mode size for all of them. But yeah, so let's get everyone out of the way. And now let's compare them in their robot modes. So here we have Rhinox. Come on. Let's raise this up a little bit. Cheetor. Who both of which for some reason we barely got to see their robot modes in the film. And we never really saw Air Razors, annoyingly. Stand, please. There we go. And here we have Primal. So yeah. So nice having the other part of the cast along with them. So yeah. So let's get these all out of the way. And for one final comparison for what is essentially the most perfect perfect live-action toy design, in my personal opinion. Why not compare it to his rival, the concept art leader class Bumblebee movie Megatron. And honestly, these two look perfect together. Like, it just works. It's like the perfect translation of their old cartoon designs into a live-action, like, greebled forms, essentially. But yeah, these two look perfect together. And also, I did add a Decepticon like sticker there, because honestly, the black Decepticon logo there was kind of just boring and didn't stand out. This helps a lot, honestly, in my personal opinion. But yeah, so let's get on to Prime's articulation and also how his accessories incorporate into the design. So start off with, here's his head. His head has a ball joint, can go full side to side, full 360, can look up that far, and honestly, it is very nicely molded, very accurate to the film. Yeah. So, and now here we hit a complication, essentially. So, for his shoulders, this is the only movement you're getting. Not from the shoulder block, from inside the torso, unfortunately. So, because of how it transforms, like, you can't really get any outwards motion if you do it like this. You have to rotate the entirety of this shoulder block here. So, or not the shoulder block, the transformation joint, essentially, to get even a tiniest bit of outwards. And even then, it's kind of pointless. So, yeah. So, it's got the annoying hot rod, trigger-happy shoulders. There is a DNA upgrade kit that does fix it and gives the shoulder block here some movement. I'll probably plan on getting that in the future to fix this, but otherwise, it's not that big of a problem. It's just something you have to work around if you're posing this guy. So, he has a bicep rotation, double-jointed elbows, which is really nice. And elbows that can go the other way if you wanted to. The wrist has a hinge thanks to transformation, and also a wrist rotation. It's really nice. We got a waist rotation, and due to transformation, an ab crunch, which is really nice. It's just that don't look at him from this perspective. It makes his like middle section look thin. But yeah. So, and also at the waist, there are these hip skirts that if you... Okay, the legs here are also a conundrum to me, where you don't get that far back. Like, that is as far back as you can get it. It does suck, especially if you're trying to get into like a running pose, but again, you can kind of ignore it, and honestly, I'm kind of surprised Hasbro, like, they did that so that way he can have, you know, high-flying kicks like that without having to need this be a part of the hip, which makes sense, but still doesn't make it any less annoying. It's just that you gotta be aware, because this piece likes to get pushed in, especially if you have the leg forward, and then, you know, it'll pop. Then, you know, collides here, then it just pops off if you push it too far. So, I kind of wish these were just not here, but knowing upgrade kit people, they would probably, you know, make this anyway, so it's here. But yeah, so he has a little bit over 90 degrees a bend at the knee, and also a thigh rotation, which you can get almost a full 360, but not completely. Yeah, and legs can go out that far if you have the leg downwards. Yeah, like they have this, sort of like how on Sun Gundam kits, there's a drop-down like mechanism where you get a joint here where the hip is, and then a joint up here, so that way you can move the hip forward even further. But they didn't really do that for this guy. Honestly, I kind of wish they did, so that way you can move this joint backwards as well. But I guess that would have taken from the remolding budget. So, which is why I feel like this kind of could have been its own mold instead of basing it off of, you know, the Bumblebee movie Prime. But hey, it is what it is. So, for ankles, we get a hinge here, so that allows you to get this far, and then with the ball joints, you can get a little bit of extra. Then also some, like, forwards, backwards, and then you can just use the ball joint itself as an ankle pivot. But yeah, honestly, this guy is very well articulated for the fact that he is, for one, a heavy remold of an older figure. And, well, I think he makes it work. Like, I think it is kind of worth it to get this guy. Do not go for scalper prices, though. Find the new re-release of this guy. Like, find it online, find it locally. Apparently in some places, this guy is appearing in Targets. But, yeah. So, you might actually have a chance to actually find him there, or hell, even Walmart. But yeah, so for his accessories, the accessories that he does come with are the sword and the like barrel. But if you have Optimus Primal, you get his axe, all of which can, you know, be used by him. So how to use this guy is you gotta flip the hand back in, and then just make sure to put this guy in and point the little pointer. I don't know what this is supposed to be. It's just supposed to be like an end of the barrel flourish, but there you can, you know, form his arm cannon, which is pretty nice, but very small compared to how he had it in the film. Again, there are upgrade kits to fix this to make it look bigger, but honestly, I think it's fine like this, but hey, you guys do you. So yeah. And for the blade, there is this port here that you can plug onto the arm right there. So if you wanted to have them on both hands, like have both the blaster and the sword on the same hand, then there you go. But if you don't, if you just want the sword, you can do the same method I just showed you, or if you flip the hand back out and flip the wrist, like this part down, you can use this peg right here to slip it into his wrist to make it look like it's popping out of his arm, which is honestly really cool. Gives him the, you know, classic arm blades actually coming out of his arm without having it to be an extra, like, accessory that can go into his hand and, like, covers it. So, but then again, you can also have him handhold it if you want to. But yeah. So, and for the axe, you can do the same thing. You can use the peg right there to have it, you know, coming out of his arm, but honestly, it looks kind of wrong to me. Like, it looks like it's too long, in my opinion, which is why I tend to prefer to have him handhold it. So, yeah. So, again, as I said earlier, there is no storage place for this guy, for the axe, but you can store the blaster back here using one of the tabs here on the sides, and you can also store the sword on the other side. It is a bit loose on my copy, but hey, it works as storage, honestly. And you can do all this on the other side as well, like same port here and everything, and same thing on the other side of the arm as well. But yeah, so honestly, this guy is arguably one of the most perfect live action primes that we're probably going to get for a while, or at least in toy form. Like, I don't know what they got planned next for whatever live action movie that they got, but hey, I am happy to have this guy finally for my Rise of the Beast collection to basically be complete for the main cast. I'm not really counting Stratosphere because he only really appeared during the middle of the movie and the ending. He didn't really participate in any fights, really. But I do hope he does get a figure for fans of him. And also, when are we going to get Transit? So that way, you know, for the deleted scene fight. But hey, that is what it is. This guy is honestly really good. Again, I say do not hunt this guy down for scalper prices. Find it either in stores or online for a regular retail price. But yeah, so that has been my review for the Rise of the Beast Studio Series Optimus Prime. Like, comment, and subscribe. All those fun doodads. I'll have all the reviews that I have done for Rise of the Beasts in the description below, and hell, I'll probably be making a new playlist by the time this video comes out. So yeah, so this has been my review of, well, Optimus Prime, and you guys have a good rest of your day, and peace.